Breaking. Candance Owens' tweets are being featured on Iranian state media channels.
تحلیلگران جهان خشم خود را از آغاز یک جنگ دیگر توسط این رژیم ابراز کردند.
من دیگه حالم از اسرائیل و اونهایی که اعمالش رو عادی سازی و یا توجیه میکنن به هم میخوره. این کشور تشنه خونه و مشابهی نداره.
من به همه هشدار دادم که اگر ترامپ به قدرت برسد همین اتفاق میافتد و به همین دلیل به او رأی ندادم.
So when you say you are supporting Israel, you are supporting a planned genocide, a planned annihilation, because Miriam Adelson gave Trump a $100 million check, and she told him that she wanted to annex the West Bank too. Okay? This is imperialism being sold to you as something godly. It is despicable. Please save your souls. I'm begging you. I am begging you to recognize this truth and to develop some courage. And shame on all of the men out there, the commentators who are taking money from Israel in one way or the other, or taking money from Zionists one way or the other, and are too, scared to come right out and call this what this is, meaning that you would even let your children grow up in this nightmare scenario, potentially being drafted into another war by demons. Truly, I think, I want to be clear, I think Bibi Netanyahu is a demon. They tried to do the emotional conditioning to me. It's like, oh, Candace, are you saying he's Adolf Hitler? Don't you know? How dare you mention Adolf Hitler? No. We're not doing that anymore, okay? Your social engineering Adolf Hitler project is done. I do believe that if war in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so, get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? Why should you go die in a foreign land? You now have the benefit of 2020. You can see, think about those men and those women who died because they were pitched that they were serving their country because there were weapons of mass destruction, right? They were serving their country because the Taliban, they were serving their country, whatever, and these people gave up their lives. And ask yourselves, for what? And the answer to that question is for the elites. They're like toy soldiers.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this video. I just came on here briefly to say that Candance Owens is having a lot of controversy lately when she said that the American soldiers should get dishonorably discharged so they will not go fight the war with Iran. And I think that it's a bit crazy that she would even say something like that. And then she's talking about she's embarrassed by Trump. But girl, you were the one that was running around telling everybody to vote for him. And now you regret it because you said you voted for no war. But he's doing the opposite, and he's put us in a war with Iran. And you think that dropping 100 bombs is making peace? That's not going to make peace at all. And then she said that she's embarrassed that she did this. Well, I would say I think I'll be embarrassed too if I voted for him. And I think that this is another thing that she's flipping-flopping on, and I agree. People should be able to change their minds and people should be able to change, right? But people are going in at this woman. They're saying that this is what you voted for, this is what you wanted, this is what you get. People are calling her a hypocrite. They say she lost her mind after she got fired by Ben Shapiro. They say Candance Owens is a joke. I mean, they are clowning this woman. They said, man, why did I ever follow her? I'm unfollowing her. People were saying like they're big supporters, and no, they're not, because of what she said about the soldiers. And then she, I guess, I guess the people in Iran, the Irani TV, they posted one of her tweets on their news station, and now people are going ballistic over it, over a tweet that the Iranian TV picked out, and I think this guy Nick Fuentes is also on their Iranian TV. But I don't think people should get upset with Candance Owens over that, because obviously she didn't give them the clip. Her tweet, they picked it out, and I guess she's rah-rahing for, I guess, Iran. I guess. I'm not really sure about that. And then somebody called Candance Owens a big disappointment and a big mistake. Yo, I can't with these people and them clowning this woman. And I mean, I think you get what you deserve when you put out bullshit, especially about our military, not wanting to go to war, because when you sign up for war, you're going into war at any time. So no, I don't think a soldier should dishonorably charged out of the military because they don't want to fight in a war that they don't agree with. No, that's not how that works. So, I mean, you guys, this woman is not short of controversies, and I'll bet you there'll be another one that will come out with this woman. And another thing before I get off of here, it says that it doesn't say that. Someone said that Candance Owens is getting paid. I think they said like $10,000 to flip. And maybe because a lot of people say she got paid in the past, for flipping on some other stuff that she did a few months back. I think it was like in April when she had this rebranding of herself, and she, was talking stuff. And so, I mean, this is very controversial. And I honestly think when I hear Candance Owens ranting about Israel, she was so anti-Israel. She says she's an anti-Zionist from hearing a story about Bella Hadid back, I guess, when their father was in Israel or something like that. And I think it's just dumb. Like, that's their father's experience, not all the world's experience. And I don't think everybody in Israel is an atheist, an unaliver, or nothing, because it doesn't say that in the Bible. I don't know where she's getting that about read your Bible and you can see all this. I don't know where that's coming from, because, honey, I read my Bible every day, and it does not say that Jews are these bad people. I don't know why she is so against Israel, because if you're a friend of Israel, because Israel is God's chosen, they're chosen by God. If you stand by Israel, God will bless you. Do you know that? And America's been standing by Israel, I guess, since they were created in 1948 again. They've been standing by them, and look how blessed we are because of it. Candance, you need to read your Bible, okay? And instead of reading dollar signs, you need to read that Bible and get that Israel history correct, because the history of Israel is in the Bible, okay? So let me stop ranting. And I do not stand war, because Israel and Palestine been warring since the Bible Bible days. It's in the Bible. They've been warring back and forth. That's nothing new, right? But nobody wants war. Trust me, they don't. But this is what it comes to. The elites, right? They say you got to do this, you got to do that, right? The people at the top, they hand down the orders. And so Trump said, I want this bombed. Guess what? It's going to get bombed. And the soldiers, they have no choice. You know? So we're getting dragged into a war. Whether you like it or not, Candace, you know, you voted, like the people say, you voted for this war. But I think regardless of any vote, we were going to go to war anyway. But hell, what do I know? I'm just a talking head. Have a great day, YouTube. Oh, damn.
Candance Owens has officially reached a new milestone in her career. I don't think she would have ever guessed back in 2018, when she still had 2 brain cells to rub together, that one day she would wake up and she would find herself being in support of a regime that is the backing of some of the most terroristic organizations on the planet, including Hezbollah, Hamas, and the likes. Now, not only has Candance switched up her tune when it comes to her support of basically anything that actually aligns with their so-called Christian values, but well, she was officially featured on Iranian television as an example of what it looks like to support your homeland, or at least your alleged sugar daddy over there in Iran. Now, this right here is the exact news segment where Candance money, dollar signs, and my eyes was featured on Iranian television right there. You can go watch the actual segment for itself, but I really just wanted to get into the context of the message. The most predictable war, plausibly ever. I'm so sick of Israel. Who would have imagined that? An emphasis on Israel, as those who pretend its actions are normal or even remotely justifiable. This country has a bloodlust like no other. Have an issue with this tweet? I literally do not care. Think defending Israel's demonic actions. It's interesting. You refer to demons, because I would assume that's where you went. That's where you are. That's what happened to you, possibly. Just an assumption here. I literally do not care. Think that defending Israel's demonic actions is going to guarantee you a spot in heaven, ? I would be questioning myself, by the way, if I were Qatari dollars Owens. Double your indulgences and sign your offspring up to die for Netanyahu. Leave the rest of us the hell alone. Now, if this wasn't preceded by 2 to 3 years straight of nothing but absolute hatred and vitriol in this woman's heart for the Jewish people, then, you know, this could just be taken as a true, I guess, call for peace. But in reality, all this is a continuation of the exact same rhetoric that has been pushed by Miss Candance over here. So, folks out there, continue to think for yourself, read for yourselves. Do not rely on individuals on the other side of a screen. Rely on the one watching this right now, which is you.
Say is that he's been a chronic disappointment, and I feel embarrassed that I told people to go vote for him because this wasn't going to happen, and it is happening. But I just think that the pick.
You think what? You think what? See, you're hard headed. You always talking. You think what? You always got something. You be wrong. Sick of your ass. You always talking back. You think you're too smart. I don't know. You ain't coming to the barbecue. Give me a switch. You not coming to the barbecue because you it's your fault. You told all them funky up, you not coming. You stay over there with your clay lake aching looking ass husband because you ain't coming to you. Now, get your ass out.
Wait, did Iran State TV just praise Candance Owens? You need to see this. Check this out.
You probably can't read what this says on Iranian State TV, can you? But I got you. It's quoting and promoting Candance Owens and Nick Fuentes. You cannot make this up. And ask yourself, why are two so-called America First influencers coming up as heroes on Iranian state media's propaganda machine? And what about Tucker Carlson? 1 minute he's anti-Iranian government. Next minute,
I think Iran deserves to be annihilated. I think they're lunatics. I think they're evil.
oh, he visits Qatar and suddenly Iran's a teddy bear. What a coincidence, Tucker. I guess we can just follow the money. It all makes sense, doesn't it? And Candance, you're a mom, a woman. How can you support Iran's government that murders teenage girls like Nika? All she did was protest. She was 16. What if it was your daughter? Do you think Americans are this stupid that none of us will ever see what's on Iranian TV screens? That we won't notice which side you're actually on or getting a paycheck from?
This is insane. Iran is one of the most oppressive, anti-American regimes, and it uses her comments as propaganda. That should tell you something. When your words are echoed by a regime that hates America and Israel, you're not bold, you're dangerous. Genesis 12:3 states, "Bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you." Candance attacking Israel is rebellion against God's covenant. Share this if you stand with Israel. And let's pray for Candance to receive wisdom and that her eyes are opened. Subscribe for more biblical truth.
Fuck Candance Owens, okay? And this is coming from someone who has supported her and loved her for years. But I don't know who got to her or what's happened to her in the last 6+ months. But the fact that she said, if you're in the military and you don't want to go to war, you know what? You should just go get dishonorably discharged. You shouldn't have to go to war. Who the fuck are you to say this? This is coming from a military mom. And of course, I don't want my children fighting in a war and dying in a war. But this is something they knew could happen. It could happen. You're signing up for the military and you're not going to bitch out when it starts getting tough and be like, you know what? I'm just going to dishonorably discharge because I don't want to go to war. I didn't sign up for this for war. Yeah, you fucking did. And they know this. Military members know this. And this is why they're such amazing people. Okay? But the fact that Candance Owens blatantly, straight up said, just dishonorably discharge. Just do it. Fuck you, Candance. You are not a patriot. These military members are patriots. And they will die for this country to protect your ass. But you're fucking telling them to get out? Who's gonna protect you? Huh? Who's gonna protect you so you can sit on your little fucking cushion? Oh, I'm so pissed. I'm fucking heated. I am unsubscribing from every single platform on this fucking bitch. Fuck.
So this is one thing that I do not agree with Candance Owens on. I have liked her, I have followed her over the years, but when she tells our military service members to disgrace themselves by getting dishonorably discharged, you have crossed the line. I don't get upset when people disagree with Trump. Even Candance Owens, people were coming out against her talking about she switched sides. She's disagreeing with Trump. She's free to disagree with Trump. Just because you vote for Donald Trump does not mean that you have to approve of everything he says and does. You are an individual. You are free to have your own opinion on matters. But when you tell military service members who sign up to go to war to protect our freedoms to disgrace themselves by getting dishonorably discharged, how is that going to help? If this country decides that they want to fight in a war, they will fight a war. If every military service member goes ahead and gets dishonorably discharged today, they would issue a draft. Because if they decide that they want to go to war, they are going to war. Nobody is going to stop them. Now, I don't want to see a war. And I think that if you ask the majority of us, Democrat and Republican, people down the middle, we would all agree that we do not want our country to be at war. But when people sign up to be in our military, whatever branch you sign up in, you know that there is a chance that this country may go to war, and you may be the one who is going to go out there to protect the freedoms of our country, to fight for this country.
Candance Owens, you are a scum!
When the leader of Iran says death to America, why doesn't that concern you?
Okay, that's a chant. And by the way, I want to be very clear. Why are they chanting death to America? Why are they chanting that? That's kind of a random thing. Like, I know,
because
wake
they
up
want
one day and go
Americans
like,
dead?
but why are they specifically chanting as opposed to saying, I don't know, death to China or death to Russia? What is it specifically about America?
Well, they say death to America, deth to Israel, death to the United Kingdom, actually.
Oh, okay.
Death to pretty much anyone that wants to stand up for them.
Could have had something to do with our actions in the Middle East, is why I'm saying that we need a change in foreign policy. It maybe has something to do with just like killing 1 million Iraqi civilians. Civilians, okay?
Candance Owens, I thought you were a patriot. But now you've gone against Trump and now you're sympathizing with terrorists? Look, I respect everything you've done so far for the Republicans, but it looks like you're getting blue-pilled. I don't think you can smart talk your way out of this one. The only reasoning for those death to America chants is radicalism. Don't ever try to justify that chant with things America has done. Do you know what they have done to America? Did you forget that we literally had 2 towers fall in New York City? What a load of scum!
So I've been watching Candance Owens. I know she's a controversial figure. She was voted anti-Semite of the year. She was a right-winger, and now she's getting accused of being a left-winger. And I just thought, no, she's just independent. She doesn't have to agree with one side or the other. But then I started watching more of her videos. Everything that goes wrong in the world in America, she literally blames on the Jews. Not only that, but one of her more recent videos where she's talking about how Israel had bombed Iran, then she pointed out how Iran had bombed in Israel in a civilian area. She smiled and laughed, and then she said, "Oh God, I love it." She also talks a lot about faith, the Bible, Christ is King, and yet she seems to be not remembering the book of Revelations and how the world will turn against Israel and that the people who encouraged it will be held accountable. I know there are Francis, but smiling over children death.
Okay, is Candance Owens okay? I've literally just seen a post of hers just on her podcast, and she's talking about the U.S. going to war with Iran, and if the U.S. was to go to war with Iran and have boots on the ground, that the military should, dishonorably, get out of there or not. I mean, what? Are you okay? Girl, do you know what's happening? And then I saw several of her other videos just recently talking about Israel, and if we believe that, they're God's chosen people, then we need to read the Bible because they're nothing but rapists and murderers, and that they're demonic, and just, girl, it's like she's taking groups of people and just grouping them into a whole, and I'm shocked because this is not what we were talking about a few months ago or a year ago, girl. Can somebody go check and then report back? Am I tripping? What? I'm confused.